Woo-wee! Good Lord have mercy, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday. I know, a day ahead of schedule, but there's a reason for that. Biggest reason being is because Nick will not be able to be our producer on that date, and it would just make things needlessly difficult. So instead, we decided to shift the day forward, but we will have something for you live tomorrow back here at Primordic Studios. We will be doing a live stream of a VR game, a certain VR game, and there's the donations already. Oh, God. So, what we'll effectively be doing is we will be doing, Roan, I'll be letting him try out Shattered Lights, which is a very short but very cool concept horror game that I think you will love, because it... And also, we'll be playing The Exorcist VR game. I'll be playing that. I'll be trying to complete as much of it as I can. I'm probably gonna need a couple changes of pants ready.
Will I be able to turn my head around 360?
Yes, you will.
Buy you a diaper.
Yes, you will.
In real life.
Yes. Well, actually,
I just won't be alive afterwards.
Well, the truth is, how the game plays is. It's a 3x3
his head without his body.
Ah, that's
Yeah, like
okay. Okay. You want?
No, I didn't mean
that.
turn. Yeah, obviously
Okay.
I can do that. I'm talking about can I twist?
Oh, you want to go full Reagan from The Exorcist? No. Unless you can puke up pea soup at the same frequency she can, which I don't think that's a possibility. But anyway, that's what we're doing tomorrow. We're going to be clearing out a little bit of space probably in this room and just be going live and let Roan and Jacob sit idly by and watch as I make an ass of myself by
We'll be able to play it on these TVs?
Yes. Yeah, y'all be able to watch it.
Sweet.
Y'all, because that's how it works is it has an output screen for everyone else to watch while I've got it on my head. So, yeah, y'all be able to see what I see, and they'll be able to see what we're live streaming, which wouldn't be that difficult. But Shattered Lights, I can't wait for you to play that because I've let both Nick and Jacob play it, and both of them liked it.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
awesome.
I'm still a VR virgin, so.
He was.
Well,
he
this
was
is a
too.
good game to be virginize you with.
Oh gosh.
You're not scared of heights, are you? Okay.
Well,
not in a video game in real life.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah. But once you're in there and that binaural sound hits your ears, it really displaces you. It really throws you for a
I
loop.
about want to fall over. I thought, and
the beautiful thing about this game is that it's short, it's sweet, it's got an awesome concept to it, and it's free. It's free on the Steam store for anyone who's wanting to try out VR. And I can recommend it wholeheartedly for anyone who wants to try it. But outside of that, in terms of the video games, there's several coming out here soon that I'm very excited about. Number one, probably the soonest, will be out, I believe, on
Friday.
the 25th. That will be actually two coming out that day. The Medieval remake, which Nick is very excited about.
Yes.
And then The Outer Worlds, which is the team at Obsidian who pretty much made some of the original Fallout games and are coming back to the franchise to pretty much set the ship right after Bethesda has royally
76.
After some would consider 4 where things really started to fall off track. I wouldn't say that. I'd say 4 was decent enough. It just wasn't innovative. Whereas 76, good Lord, man.
I watched the thing that even after a year they still haven't even come close to getting things cleared up with that game.
No.
It's just a
of course
trainer.
not, dude. It's the creation
total
engine.
loss.
It's the creation engine that they've had for what? 8 years, 9 years now. They keep updating the graphics and all that in it, and updating all that, but the physics and processing in it is broken with a lot of stuff. And they imported in bugs from Fallout 4. Bugs that they should have seen needed to be fixed and rectified before even putting it into the code of the game, and they still uploaded
It's just
it.
the Bethesda way.
Called copy and paste.
Exactly, and that's one thing that video games are suffering from a lot nowadays. For instance, there's a lot of outrage over the two most recent 2K games that came out, NBA 2K20 and WWE 2K20. Both games are, a lot of critics have said, they pretty much suffer from copy-paste syndrome, including all the bugs that were supposed to be fixed from last year's game, but included with the newer one. It's like, well, come on, guys. I mean, don't be so lazy with making your games. I mean, I mean, at least take the fixed code that you have on your most recent version of the game and do that. But good lord, it's
Bring back the old.
Personally, I'll be playing Call of Duty.
COD Modern Warfare.
Probably
That's
just going to
another
rent it
one
though.
coming out.
I've kind of gotten to the point like I got World War II and I played the campaign through I think once maybe twice, but like I'm not an online player, so buying $60 game like Call of Duty.
Well,
I'm
that's
only gonna
fair.
play once or
No,
twice, just
and
not
and that's
love it,
fair,
so.
Ron. I mean,
Probably get it from Redbox or something.
yeah,
Just play the game.
go for it, man. I mean, it's a lot of people I know are getting into it for the campaign because the campaign is pretty much a reboot of the whole thing from the first step that they took in Modern Warfare, and they're instead trying to do a new path instead of going down the same derivative path that they went down with Modern Warfare 2 and 3, which personally I liked 2. 3 could have used some work. Just to be honest.
Dev 2 is probably my favorite out of them. 3 was a little underwhelming, but I was fine with it as far as the conclusion. It felt like it was a little too like, hey guys, we want to try and fight and like have a gun battle in every location on Earth. We want to try and have a gun battle on every major location on Earth. Paris, Berlin. I think we're in London for a moment or whatever. Let's just go to everywhere.
Yeah,
So-
which in truth, when it's all action and no atmosphere, you don't really get a chance to get to know the characters. You don't really get a chance to get enveloped in the environment. It's all just pow, 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 shoot, shoot,
Well,
shoot.
this
shoot,
has
pow, pow,
Captain
pow, pow.
Price though.
No, I know it's got Captain Price.
You gotta run
which-
like this.
Infinite Warfare though.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I'll
just
always
the-
praise that one.
Just this moves.
The cradle.
Not the whole body, not like desperate running, just
Infinite Warfare, I always praise that one because it is about the characters. Like they do a pretty good job.
The original
at least
Modern
in the
Warfare, I
games.
mean, we got to care about McTavish, we got to care about Soap, we
I
got
was
to care
talking
about...
Infinite Warfare, but yeah,
Infinite Warfare?
Modern Warfare was good too.
Well, the first Modern Warfare, I mean, I loved Captain Price, and I loved Gaz, which, Gaz and Ghost both, I mean, those two characters...
yeah, they both get shot in the head right at the end there.
Yeah. Well, Ghost was more heartbreaking for
That
me
was
because
rough, yeah.
that one, I was just like, you gotta be kidding
Like
me.
this is like when was the name Shepard?
Shepard,
General
yeah,
Shepard, where
Shepard's
he's like-
betrayal.
he's like the hard ass, like the Patton kind of guy, like
Yeah.
General Patton of the
Good.
modern age.
That's one more loose
Yeah.
end. Pow! Just
Oh,
shoots Roach in the stomach and then caps Gaz in the head.
Yeah.
I'm like, you son of... And then they
And then
throw
burns
you
you to
both
death.
into a pit, throw gasoline on you, and which I know it's movie bullshit, but he drops his cigar on there and lights the fire with his cigar, which...
on Mythbusters they lit one with a cigar but not a cigarette.
Oh, that's right, they did. So it is possible
It's
with a cigar.
Possible, yes.
Plausible.
Not very likely unless it's
not
a
very
really
efficient.
well, I mean, a big pile of gas, high fumes. Possible, yeah.
Possible,
yeah, if it's hot enough.
It's just it depends on if it sparks when it hits something
Yeah, pretty much.
and really ignites, which
Yeah.
might be a possibility. I don't know, but also another game coming out here soon is Star Wars Fallen Order, which unbelievably
Looks really good.
I know. Well,
now it's only single player, right?
yeah, it is an EA Star Wars game that is only single player. Now keep in mind it's EA publishing, not EA like developing the game. The developer is actually Respawn Entertainment. Respawn, the same guys who gave us Titanfall and the same guys who gave us Apex Legends.
I feel like it's going to get a lot of challenge from the internet, but that's always you
Well,
guys.
well,
it's always
yeah,
you
that's
guys'
Respawn
another
handling it
It's always
definitely.
you guys' slogan, anyways.
Challenge everyone.
If Respawn wasn't the one doing it, I would completely ignore it. Probably.
Yes. Well, if it was one of
If
one of
EA was
studios.
directly in control, absolutely.
Well,
not. I wouldn't
which
fucking-
that was actually Stig Asmussen, the game's director. He was adamant that he did not want EA's oversight committee handling this game because he knew that they would make demands. For instance, they would make demands to have loot boxes. There's no way for you to have loot boxes in the game because there's no online. There's nothing online. There's no online component to it. It's
I don't really
based.
care about the loot box system that much on a single player game at all.
No, no, well,
It's never really
it's
affected me
yeah.
because I never really buy them, no matter
Well,
what
you
game.
don't buy
but
them
I do,
for the multiplayer stuff.
Yeah, but I do understand why that is a big issue in today.
It is because if games like God of War, which conveniently enough, I mean, we mentioned
They
Stig
didn't have
Asmussen.
anything, yeah.
No, there was no
you buy the game and you have everything.
no DLC, no nothing. It was a full, complete game when you got it. But the beautiful thing about God of War, actually, the comparison between God of War and Star Wars Fallen Order is actually legitimate because Stig Asmussen was an art director throughout the entire original God of War series and actually directed the third God of War game when Cory Barlog left.
Right.
And that's one thing I'm excited about because Stig Asmussen is a great game director. He has done amazing stuff, and when he is left alone with the people that he wants and has full control over his game, he creates amazing set pieces and amazing game design. And that's effectively seems like what has happened this time. EA has left them alone because I think Respawn, they said, no, we want to design this and make this game ourselves. Single player, and from what a lot of people have said, a lot of critics have gone and they've played the game, and they haven't done a full release, but they've done a synopsis of what they thought. And effectively, they said that the game is going to be anywhere from 30 to 35 hours long in terms of the overall campaign. And they said that...
The next question is just how much depth it has, you know.
Oh,
like God of War has a ton of depth in
the game. In the game, the demo that they played only had 3 planets available.
Yeah.
And you were lucky if you made it to 2, though, because in like 4 hours of the total gameplay that they were allowed, they barely made it to the second planet.
Yeah,
and the difficulty goes up with each planet you go to.
I like it.
And in total, there's actually 8 planets. The guy said he saw a final map of the game of like all the planets you go to. There's 8, and each of them presents a different challenge. Like different parts of nature are going to be fighting against you. Different levels of stormtroopers are going to be fighting against you. Like you'll go on one planet that'll be completely overrun with like Galactic Empire commandos, and you got to fight them. You got.
I can't wait to do the boss battles because I love boss battles.
Yeah.
Which.
Like Force Unleashed had a really cool boss battle system. I thought Force Unleashed was really great. It just lacked that depth. But this, it seems there's a lot more depth in.
Well, I have heard that it is very much like, I don't know if it's a criticism or not, but like it's very similar to how Force Unleashed is.
Well,
but that's one of their better games.
Which Stig Asmussen said.
I liked it.
Stig Asmussen said that he took a lot of inspiration from the Force Unleashed for the things they did right. For instance, the Force powers, the character's movement, the lightsaber capabilities. You know, like the lightsaber throw, the Force push, and also.
There's only so much you can do. It's a dude running with a cool energy sword.
Well,
maybe it's the story elements too. Though.
Well, you think that, but there's also some other stuff involved. There's puzzles and stuff that you actually have to do, because that's one thing that the Force Unleashed did not fully have. It didn't have fully fleshed out puzzles.
It didn't have the depth.
That's
what I meant. Like the puzzles and other options. You know, weapon customizations. I like mobility stuff. I like mobility.
I love getting on Force Unleashed. I love getting that black saber.
Yeah. You climb up on top of the turbines, and there's the black saber crystal up there. Like,
yes. Doesn't make any sense, but sure, I love black. Let's go.
Well, yeah. Well, actually, in the Force Unleashed 2, I found the black saber. I found a black saber crystal and a white saber crystal, and I did both. I did black on one hand, white on the other, and I'm just like, hell yes.
Like they have that.
From what I was watching on
the
the gameplay of it, it had a ton of depth. I mean, it had a bunch of stuff in there that was more than just your basic combat and go to the next zone. You know?
Well, imagine if you will, Stig Asmussen said this. The movement of a Prince of Persia game, you know, like Prince of Persia Sands of Time, the character movement of that, combined with the hard difficulty and learning curve of Dark Souls, combined with the look and feel of the new God of War,
and the wall running from Titanfall.
Well, that's actually more Prince of Persia than Titanfall.
Yeah, Prince of Persia did that on PlayStation 2.
Yeah,
long time ago.
That was fun.
Dude,
I never played it.
Oh, dude, some of the best single player experience I've ever had.
That tower with the mirrors.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes, I love that level.
Yeah, I do too. That was insane.
And also in the Prince of Persia 2, you know, the Warrior Within, the second one of the Sands of Time trilogy, you actually fight the Dahaka, which is.
I never got to play that.
You never got
one.
Oh my gosh!
I played Sands of Time, beat it, and then I hadn't got a chance to play the next ones yet.
We need to go back and if anything, you need to play the first one because you'll tell if you like it or not.
Yeah, you'll know within the first 10 minutes.
Whereas we need to go back and we need to play Warrior Within because Warrior Within has an awesome soundtrack. It's a very metal inspired soundtrack. They go more hard edge with it too. There's a lot more blood and gore.
When that game came out, that shit all over it because they're like, the soundtrack doesn't fit the gameplay, and I was like, dude, you can go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, the gameplay was still amazing. Actually, the gameplay was more intricate because where you didn't have the dagger of time, you actually still had time like time abilities, it was through the medallion that you had.
Yeah.
And you could still use all the stuff, but now you had one dedicated hand that had a sword in it, and another that you could actually like throw like your weapon from one, steal it off of another enemy, and then stab him with his own sword.
It
It was
also upgraded to an M rating, so it was
yes.
See, another thing on there is you got this dagger that has sands in it that allows you to go back in time a little bit as long as you hold it. So let's say you jump off to a ledge and let's say you miss.
Yeah.
Before you can fall, you can kind of go right back in time like Tracer.
Yeah, like Tracer, but like everybody's affected. I'm assuming.
Yeah, but you only have so much of
run.
it though, and you have to kind of keep refilling it. You can get different things to refill it.
You
faster
refill it by killing enemies, and you refill it by taking out these sand collection pits, where that actually also helps you save your game.
But it's very much a platform, kind of like that Tower of Mirrors we're talking about. There's a bunch of these mirrors, and you have to get them to light the door to unlock it. But you have to keep turning the mirrors to see which ones will bounce off of where.
Right.
And a lot of times you got to figure out how to get to that mirror in order to even turn it because so there's a lot of platforms.
Yeah, it's back when Ubisoft really was starting to hit their stride with game development.
That was back in the Splinter Cell days, the first Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
It was those days.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like I might have gotten it for a birthday present, like way back, like the first one. But I don't know if I ever played it.
no.
Yeah.
Well,
I have to look at my.
I'll
game
get you like
collection.
I got the Xbox version, and I think I've got a PS2 version
Yeah, I
somewhere.
played it on the
anyway.
Xbox. I played it on Xbox. So Xbox and PS2, the Xbox was actually more my baby. I had a ton of games for it, and that library was actually massive, a lot larger than people think. Now, PS2's library was a lot larger, but PS2 was out before the Xbox.
About 2 years beforehand, like at 18 months.
And it had stuff like Square Enix and stuff, which was PlayStation exclusive at the time. They did have a lot of, I think PlayStation won in the console war, but the Xbox had a lot of great games with it. And of course, Halo and some of the other Xbox exclusives.
Right.
When I played Splinter Cell, of course, it wasn't even on the PS2. It was Xbox only.
It was always kind of a thing, like when I was younger with our family and stuff. It was kind of like we never really got the new, like the next generation console, whatever, until like 2 years after it came out or something.
I had to mow a lot of yards.
Yeah.
I had to mow a lot of yards. My parents weren't really loaded, but I knew what I wanted, and I really worked for it and stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, if I would save up like $300 of it, my mom or something would pay like the other $100 for like Christmas or something.
Like I
never got them at launch, but
yeah, like I didn't get my Xbox One until Advanced Warfare, which was like a year or two after it came out, I think. Which on the bright side of that means that gives them enough time to have already gotten rid of all the bugs and stuff.
Yeah.
Have to deal with all that bullshit at the beginning. So
Which it's good not to.
I think it's why my opinion of the Xbox is a lot higher than a lot of other people's is. But
No, it's fair.
I think the Xbox, the original console, was pretty much a masterpiece console at the time. I mean, it didn't have too much wrong with it. The power was there. It could play and perform with the best graphics at the time.
It also was the
Doom
first.
3. I mean,
it also was the first to have an internal hard drive.
yeah. Which, by the way, I've hacked a lot of Xboxes and stuff. They're internal Western Digital 40 gig hard drives that you can actually format and use them on a PC, or you can hook them up to a PC. Won't read it because it's formatted in a different format. But if you just do a little bit of code, you can unlock that and then access the whole hard drive and load custom firmware on it. And I actually ran Windows XP on an Xbox. I'm not lying.
Yes.
And,
I've read about that.
yeah,
see, I've always shied away from doing that because I feel I'm just gonna fucking break something.
And we had I think we had an infrared keyboard. You ever seen one? So you know the DVD player module?
Yeah.
Well, on the Xbox, they had it locked to where you couldn't play DVDs on it unless you bought this remote package. It came with that. But if you had that little package, whatever, you could IR a keyboard to it. Kind of like the TV remotes have now, and they got a keyboard in the back of it.
Yeah.
But you have to point it at the TV, and it's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could run Windows XP on there, and it's basically kind of like a gaming PC almost, in a way, But
What was I remember.
I just rented games and ripped them to the hard drive, and then I could rent them for a lot longer.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still a thing, but I remember when I was younger, there was like the Game Shark thing or something like the.
That's what
the keyboards.
Yeah, I
There's
remember
actually
that.
Action Replay on the Xbox. Game Shark was on the PlayStation.
I remember I always hated it because like there were games that like I wanted like cheat codes for or something, but I could never use them because they required the old Game Shark, and I never got into that whole thing. But,
I've actually, I remember when I got the Game Shark for the PS2, it had the thing you would put in the memory slot, which would keep track of the cheat codes that you would want active in said game, and then you had the little disc thing that you put in to activate the cheats on the said game. And my friend actually tried to do it with Monster Hunter. And or Monster Rancher, Monster Rancher. I think it was Monster Rancher like 2 or 3, I think. And he tried it on that, and he actually unlocked probably the rarest, one of the rarest ones, because there was the Phoenix that you could unlock. That was pretty much like the end game. You get that one, you win the game pretty much. But he got one that actually you weren't supposed to get called Joker, and that thing was deadly. Because how it was, you would go to a battle arena and you would fight. This thing did so much damage and took so little damage. He could go through a full team of just like a whole bunch of monsters and just barely have a scuff on him. And I'm like, Andrew, there's a certain point where you really need to just pull back on the reins, because it's at this point I think you're gonna stop finding the game fun. And he's like, what are you talking about, man? This is awesome. This is that, blah blah blah. 2 weeks later, he'd never touched the game again because he just got so tired of dominating. You
can't.
It is definitely double.
You have to figure out what hacks are going to be fun. I mean, it's fun to fuck around and do stuff like that on it. But for example, on Halo, we had custom maps.
Yeah.
So like we had, Beaver Creek. We had a winter snowy version of Beaver Creek. And what's funny is, the little water where you go down in there and the overshields in the water, whatever. It was iced over. You could still see the overshield, but you couldn't get it. So people would go down there to it and boom, take them off. Throw a couple grenades, and the grenades would actually slide on the ice. And I mean, the thing is, if you run in there full sprint and realize, oh fuck, you can't get it, you can't turn around and run because
I think Sidewinder was one of my favorite maps.
Yeah,
Sidewinder was nuts.
Did you ever I don't know if you ever did cheating with like GTA 3 or Vice City and stuff.
I did on Vice City.
I did Vice City a little bit.
I don't know if maybe it was just me. Like there was a certain point, like if you use cheats enough to a certain point, like it would. I don't know if it damaged the disc or if it was just the memory, but I remember it corrupting.
It was the memory. It was usually the memory. It would eventually that would get corrupted.
So what happens is when you spawn certain items into the game, this kind of actually happened on Oblivion for the 360. When you spawn certain items into the game, it's an instant frame that comes in, and sometimes if there's instant with collision, let's say other cars, let's say you warp in a Harrier or something like that, and that Harrier glitches with the other car, sometimes it would just glitch and crash. I mean, I crashed Oblivion probably 5 or 6 times doing this. The arrow glitch. You ever seen it?
The one where you.
For example, lockpicks was something you really needed in that game. Yeah. But if you get 99 arrows, which wasn't hard to do, you take the arrow, you pull it back, right? You pause it, you go into the menu, you drop item on your bow, right? And you equip that lockpick. I'm sorry, you drop item on your arrow and you equip the lockpick. All right, and as soon as you go unpause, boom, it shoots 100 instant lockpicks. I did not know that. It was pretty cool. I mean, what does it to the amount of arrows that you have? But 99 is the most items you can hold at one time, and you have to make sure the weight won't over encumber you. So I found the most powerful item in the game, right? It was this staff that you can get in Imperial City. And the staff does 99 damage, which is the most damage you can do in the game. And I think it's called the Apothecary Staff, actually. Yeah. And yeah, I did that thing with that and made like 200 of these things spawn all at once, and it just crashed every time. It was like, so you can only make like 20 or 30 at once before.
I guarantee you the game was just like, you're about to wreck the economy. I will not allow this.
It's so funny because like when you're in the shop and everything, and it's so funny because the Apothecary Staff was stolen, so it has a little red hand thing on there. Yeah. So like all my gear was stolen, so if you got caught by a guard and you went to jail, you would lose everything. It's just like, damn, kill the guard, boom.
The only cheat that I used on a game, when I really wanted to play the game that way, was when I unlocked infinite bullet time on Max Payne and Max Payne 2. Dude, I would just hit the button to do bullet time, just run into the room, pow, 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 and then undo it, and they'd all just like, just fall over dead, and I'm just like,
I am God now.
I am a god. I love doing that.
Now, the hacks on Halo 2 were insane. The shooting through walls hack, the aimbot, the instant headshot, the infinite ammo, the fully automatic sniper rifle.
I never
Those
saw
were the
those.
hacks that would make you scream mad. Like, you get on Xbox Live
like
on
hacking in
playing on a
multiplayer?
ranked match, it'd be like level 40 something, and as soon as you log in, beep, 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 dead. You're like, what just happened? And as soon as you spawn a gun, beep,
Yeah.
I was like, what? Oh, and your ranks, your ranks just going through the floor,
Yeah.
too, so you're just pissed.
Yeah,
I never really
They
saw
eventually
that.
got rid of the hackers, though, but they ended up having to reset the whole thing. So
Yeah.
even if he's level 50 already, they reset everybody back to 0 because of the hacker situation.
Well, yeah, and then of course there was also the situation on Grand Theft Auto where it was a pair of Ukrainian hackers. They actually found out how to keep spawning vehicles with C4 on them behind somebody.
No.
And every time, and it was a personal vehicle of the person that was who was who was hacking you, and every time your car would explode behind the person who's closest to it, and it would blame you for the transgression of blowing up their car, and they would seep like $20,000 out of your account every time it did that.
Sure.
And one guy he was in the game for about 10 minutes. These guys seeped about $4 million from this guy
Fuck, man.
just doing that in 10 minutes.
I'd be pissed.
This is what again?
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, it was an online lobby.
Yeah.
They found out how to do it, and they did it, and pretty much Rockstar shut down the server for about 3 days, got rid of that bug, and then they tried to do it again, and instead the car would just spawn in behind people and would just like fall down. Just like, and it'd just be a stack. You look back and there'd just be a
There's
stack of cars. Yeah, literally. And then some would start despawning, and then the stack would just be like,
I remember on the Crisis, I think the first multiplayer Crisis, they had the thing on there where you do custom maps. You get everybody in custom map and ignite like 250,000 barrels at once, and it would crash the server like every time. So it was kind of funny. It was like, hey guys, I'm ending the server. What are you talking about, ending the server? Boom. It's
I think-
crash. Everybody disconnects.
I think one of my favorite like cheats that were like deliberately put in the game was in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the first one, Call of Duty 4, sorry, Modern Warfare, where if you got all the intel throughout the games, like little laptops or whatever, in the campaign maps and stuff, if you got all those, it gives you a whole bunch of cheat codes, and one of them is unlimited ammo, and by and large it's fine for all the machines and everything, but the coolest thing it works on is the M203 grenade launcher, because you won't have to reload, so it goes punk 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 punk.
Oh, you have to reload?
Yeah, with the M4s. But if you there's one map like where you're escorting the M1 Abrams tank through the Iraqi village or whatever. There's an M16A2 with a grenade launcher, and that one is like, I don't know if it's in the remaster, but in the original one, it is like nonsense. It's with a fucking M203. You were just like going through the town, just obliterating the buildings. With
Oh,
the
that's
fucking
funny.
M203
It's okay. I know how Call of Duty is. You hit them right in the fucking chest 2 times with it, and they'll shoot you
Of
once
course, yeah.
with a fucking
Oh, yeah.
pistol. Nope,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a dagger.
That's one of the things that annoys me about
Fuck
playing.
yeah, dude, it makes me so mad. I unleash like 10 rounds of a 7.62 right through somebody's face, or I'm sorry, their chest, and they get one lucky shot with like a Luger that somehow goes through your fucking big ass Kevlar helmet.
That's one of the things. Like, I just from
I get so mad at that damn game.
from a like I guess the understanding of how guns work and stuff. I've gotten back into Division 2 a little bit just as with the DLC stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just annoys me that I'm shooting an M14 or a Mark 4 EBR Mark 14 into these guys, and it's taking me 10, 12 shots to fucking take them down. This is so fucking stupid.
That's ridiculous. That'd be like
I
me
like it when you
shooting.
kill them and they spawn behind you.
Yeah, I
5
know.
seconds later, and then shoot you before you can even get out of the hallway. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, I think there should be more of a penalty on the spawn time for one
They
thing.
do-
2, they shouldn't run faster than Master Chief. You know, they
Yeah.
run so fast. It's just like through the door, and it's like, what just happened? I mean, it just rewards you for playing like an idiot sometimes. But it's more or less like, if you take away the realism of of like a shooter and play it like Unreal Tournament, you'd do a lot better.
No.
You know, I mean, essentially you got to play it like a sci-fi game, but it's not even a sci-fi game though. It's, I mean, real guns, real parts, which I thought was kind of cool because I like military simulation shooters, but also like them to be fun too. But that's a bit too much. It's arcadey, very arcadey. You know?
Yeah. Which one was this?
Any of the Call of Duties.
Oh, God, yeah.
all right,
definitely.
So, Nick, how many memes we got on standby?
Several.
Okay. All right, go ahead and let's start playing some of
It's
these.
gonna take me a minute after the first one because Dusk's donation thing fucked up on it. I sent the same one like 5 times. So.
Oh, no.
You sure
Sorry,
that
Doug.
wasn't on purpose?
Man,
Sorry.
Oops.
You sure he didn't do that on purpose just to troll us?
Oh, God. Okay.
It would absolutely be that
First
Wii
one
thing.
says
He would do it 5
Tradition
times.
At this point,
He would do it 5 times. I believe that he would do it.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
Goose step it. You get a fucking splinter in your foot.
God, oh man.
Oh, Duff.
Oh Lord.
Alright, yeah, we'll get that question.
alright. The second one says, I know Nick likes World War II
Hey, I like World War II memes too.
memes. They're okay, I guess. And
Uh-oh.
Which one's that?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
legit.
watching.
Switzerland not giving a fuck.
I want you because you got something that I need.
Yeah.
Military power.
Look at that.
Meanwhile,
Nazi gold.
Switzerland's just in the middle of it, just like, let's see how this plays out.
I don't mind taking this Nazi gold. This is fun.
Und I don't
I am neutral.
Und I
Gold.
don't,
next set of music
Gold.
after this, Nate knows
Gold.
all too well.
if it's what I think it is, I'm leaving the room.
Yep. Yeah.
We got this before.
Oh, there's another one.
At this point, this is just a tradition we're all waiting for.
I know what's coming. I know what's coming. Well, we're gonna stand there and take it like a man. Oh, dude, you're. Oh no! I am an asshole. I am an asshole. I am an asshole. Look at me.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's that. Trolling people in the Mario games is always fun.
I like in the Super Mario Brothers Wii and Wii U, you could jump on each other's heads, right? So the rule is you need to stay away from each other because you'll end up killing each other because you bounce off of each other's heads.
Yeah, I don't think
So-
Ray got that message when he killed Michael at one
Yeah,
time.
you
'Cause all
have
of
to
a sudden,
stay away from each other and work together one go at a time because if not, you have to work
Because-
together in that game. And the game is intended to make you work against each other. I swear it is.
Because-
Like you're just, God, man.
because how it worked was Michael was building up a run jump, and
No,
There it is.
to be continued, Ron.
oh no, we gotta suffer through it.
It is unfortunate because this kind of burns like 3 minutes of our time.
It's very torturous. Oh God.
not 100 seconds, 90 seconds. Minute and a
Feels
half.
like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Feels like 3 minutes. Feels like a fucking.
Well, I'm going to
eternity.
use this time to look at comments.
Yeah,
see if there's any
let's look at
questions.
the comments here, dude. So I mean, I'm pretty good at bearing
What's up, Ariel?
Oh. God, it's hard to ignore. It really is.
I'll have to turn it off.
No.
Oh, we forgot to mention, don't send us full anime openings or closings this time, guys.
Yeah.
In case, I'll have to ask you to DM me an actual meme and not play those because our podcast last week got taken down for that Pokemon thing.
Can they hear you on that probably?
Yeah, it should be able to.
Just in case you didn't hear it, Nick said, Nick said basically don't send us any anime memes, like the intro memes and stuff, because they'll pretty much demonetize, flag, take down the video and everything. So that would not be good. The stream, sorry.
Alright. It's over, Nate.
It's over. And he's back.
Nate, David the Awesome says, hey Nate, I wrote a Scooby-Doo fan fiction a long time ago with you, Nick, and Micah in it. You have to read it. I don't know.
Considering the last fan fiction I read, I don't know about that. I'll give it a look, but if it has stuff in it that I'm just like, nah, I'm sorry, man. I'm already scarred for life after reading one fan fiction involving us. Actually, after two, I should say. One was bad, the second one was even worse.
Sarah is asking, Jacob, you and I, what are our favorite horror movies?
Mine?
Yeah.
Favorite horror movie? Believe it or not, when I was a child, it was Pumpkinhead, because that creature just scared me for some reason. But other than that, I'm going to have to say the first two Saw movies. First two Saw movies, I think, is innovative and just really creative. After that, series went downhill, but I'm trying to think of really what else. I mean, I watch a lot of horror stuff. I have a lot of horror films I really like. Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning. I love that one a lot because it had some brutal scenes in it that just made me like really cringe. I don't know. I like a lot of horror movies. I do get burnt out on the camping thrillers.
Yeah.
Those are. I mean, they're fun but you have to watch them with a different mindset. You have to watch them with a mindset.
Hills Have Eyes, but that's not. That's more of like a thriller.
I would still consider that horror. I mean,
it's
definitely scary.
Well, I'm not going to draw some flack for this, but I actually prefer the remake, the first remake, not the second, not the sequel to the remake. I prefer the remake to the original.
On Texas Chainsaw?
No. Oh. On Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, yeah. I do too. I didn't much care for the original simply because the protagonist in it made such dumb decisions. Like, you got a Beretta, and he had, I think, 9 rounds in it. And he wasted all 9 of those rounds by running. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Like the whole clip and missed every shot. I'm like, if you'd have just stood there, let him get within range and pop 2 caps in his ass, that would have been it. But no.
Yeah, they're mutated, not magic.
They're not magic. And
it's not like they were shooting back at him.
Yeah, they wasn't shooting back. He was just running at you. I'm like, I mean, I've been fine with a crowbar or something like that. I'm like, yeah, they're not unhuman. They were really strong other than that, but that's just because they're like animals.
Gordon Freeman their asses.
I think my favorite horror, that depends on how you say it, but the most like affecting of horror that I have for me was probably The Ring when I saw it when I was like 10, I think, or 11. At that time, I remember it was so like affecting to me that like I had to not only take the 10-inch little TV, like box TV with VHS tape. I had to take the little 10-inch TV out of my room, but I also had to take a picture that was over my bed as well because it was just big enough for Samara to climb out of, and so I wasn't having that. So
you wasn't having that.
No.
I think the scariest creature I've ever seen in any movie was Jeepers Creepers. I would have been terrified of that thing.
Creepers.
Yes.
Jonathan
Jeepers Creepers. Everybody.
Yeah, they whistle that in the movie.
As far as
I heard like a old bread truck like that survived World War I and II was just coming down the road, and I'm like, if the license plate says
I think
"be
he's got the
eating
deuce and a
you,"
half, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got like some weird like 1940s van or some shit.
yeah, it's a big ass like bread truck from went through World War I and II.
Yeah.
That
And-
horn. It was I'm not gonna lie, like I would have been scared as shit during that too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a big
Yeah.
ass truck. I'm like,
So yeah, that brought like the Ring would probably be the scariest, but I think the favorite would probably be actually Paranormal Activity. I just liked how like
that was in theaters. The first time I saw that, dude, that
it was
scared me
it was
shitless.
so
That was
simple,
awesome.
like that. Just like having that deep bass rumbling in the background was enough.
Yeah,
like,
the
that
low
is very
that has no
yeah,
edge.
the low hurts like rumble, and
Yeah.
you notice it whenever it goes away.
Yeah.
Like whenever the door slams, and after the
tension
door slams,
stops.
it's gone.
Like
It's just like you feel like the tension release.
like Paranormal Activity 2, where like the woman gets like dragged down the stairs and like down
Yeah.
to the basement, and the door just slams and everything goes quiet. It's like,
Yeah,
fuck.
when
okay.
the dog started flipping out too, I was like, "Oh no!" Like the dog went down there.
Yeah.
I was like, "No,
Oh, my God.
Poochie, no! Don't go down there."
Yeah.
I enjoyed those too. I mean, those are
But then
movies you
they-
can't really watch more than once though. Because
Yeah,
it's
they kind of milked the hell out of that whole.
which do you
thing,
blame
so-
them? I mean, hey.
No, I mean it was
It made
it was
some
my,
money.
but it was impressive because like the first one it had like a budget of like $12,000.
Yeah, it was pretty cheap.
it was.
millions on it. I mean, yeah, it's
Orange
can't argue
Haley.
against that, I mean.
Let's see. Paranormal.
which to be fair, I think the people
Activity.
that actually filmed it didn't make millions. They
No,
sold it
the
to a
producers
distribution
did.
company.
Well, they traded it
distribution
to
company
Blumhouse.
made it. Fuck that money.
$15,000.
Yeah.
$15,000, and it
budget.
made $193 million.
Yeah,
So yeah, Orange
but I
Haley.
think they sold it to a distribution company for like.
Well,
like a
well,
few
yeah, it
hundred
was.
thousand,
They
right?
sold it to Blumhouse.
Okay.
Jason Blum, actually, Blumhouse. Jason Blum, which is like a big time, like Paranormal Activity, The Purge, Insidious, Oculus, Ouija, Happy
need to
Death
catch up on
Day,
Purge
and
movies.
the new Halloween movie, Us, and Upgrade, and also Split. All of them have been like. All of this, effectively, it's the same thing that happened with Lionsgate. Lionsgate was, in the beginning, a fledgling production company, and then they start releasing the Saw movies. And that's why I always refer to Lionsgate as the house that Saw built. And same thing with Blumhouse, the house that Paranormal Activity built, or the sweat off of Oren Paley's back, who, Oren Paley, after doing Paranormal Activity, has done almost nothing since except be a producer. Yeah, that's it. He's done nothing but be a producer.
I could
on-
see like how much did the Purge, the first Purge, take to make? Because that only took place in like one house. I mean, as far as sets go.
I'm not sure. I didn't much care for the Purge though. I just didn't much.
I didn't. For whatever reason, it pissed me off. Like it was like
Yeah, it
if
kinda-
society
it kinda
gets
made
to
me
this
mad,
point,
too. It was
then
like these people
this,
are so dumb. They
Yeah.
deserve to die. Like,
The
Well,
first Purge. Go ahead.
it just pissed me off. Like for some reason, like the mindset of like this is how bad the country gets. Like we get to this point or whatever that like we're fucking legalizing murder and just killing each other and stuff.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't know why. It pissed me off for some reason. And
Well, the first
But-
Purge movie was made for $3 million and made $89 million back, and it took place in one house. I personally
surprised
liked
that took
Anarchy.
$3 million.
I personally liked Anarchy.
I haven't. Hey, I've only watched the first one. I need to catch up on the others.
Okay, so Anarchy is my favorite. It's actually was made for $10 million and raked in $111 million, and then Election Year, which is my second favorite, it was made for $10 million and raked in $118 million. So every Purge film that's come out, the first Purge film is arguably the worst.
Yep.
But it's set up a decent enough universe to where I will
Well,
say...
it explained everything with the law.
Yeah, for me, 2 and 3 is where things really took off. And then, from what I've heard, the first Purge, which is like a prequel to the whole thing, a lot of people have said it's really good, but I've never seen it. I mean, yeah, it's just there's a lot of different. I just don't know how to.
But that, like me saying that I got pissed off at like for whatever, I got pissed off at the Purge. Just from like the mindset of like that's how. But
that's
then
how the movie makes
that
you feel,
was
though. I mean,
that was in like 2013, 2014, whenever it came out. But now in today's world, with the way politics are now, so that's just.
I like protagonists I can kind of relate to when all the people are just vegetables in the head. You know,
Yeah,
it's like really? Like, this is the best you guys can do? Like, what kind of culture did you come up in
Yeah.
to think that that would be a good idea, you know, or certain things would be a great idea? Now, I mean, I don't get some of the stuff they do. You know, it's like that little girl goes out there with the old golden AK and that one, and she's like, yeah, you won't repay this because she like stole a candy bar and some shit. I'm like, he should have just shot her when he had the damn chance. Like,
Yeah.
he had a gun.
Yeah,
you
that,
know?
yeah, that
Like,
one girl, like,
she
who
obviously
killed her
can't
parents.
hold that thing, right? There's no
No,
way she's gonna hit you. It's like,
She's a dumb priss girl, probably prep school girl who's just wanting to kill and all this and all that. And it's just like, oh, you want to kill? So you're a killer. Okay,
Oh.
let me oblige. Headshot. Pow.
yeah, like.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole basis on that was to like pretty much target like homeless people and stuff, right? To pretty much purge them from society.
You see, from what people have said about the first purge actually went. It's actually there's a subplot going on that's explained very well in the second one, and it actually shows that things are actually not like it's not the people that are committing a lot of the most horrible acts. You'll understand whenever you watch Anarchy, because there's a whole lot of shit going on there that, honestly, to me...
Well, I think I remember... I don't think I've seen even, but I've seen like scenes out of it, like where it's like a cult or whatever that kind of set this up. Like it's a whole religious like group that
not really. It's more of a... It's more of a political thing, and
There was cult that came out of it, yeah.
I'm gonna spoil something for you about the second one. Turns out it's not actually the people who are killing all these people. Turns out the government's actually sending out hit squads to do it because, honestly, people aren't that bad.
Right.
But the government themselves do it because it's a relief on the economical stress from the homeless and from you know, and to which I can I can relate to some degree with that, but at the same time when it resorts to killing people, no.
Yeah,
never.
clearly there's other problems that you should probably fix.
Exactly.
And it's
There's
just, if you
plenty
haven't
of
resorted to
problems
killing
that can
people.
be fixed. It's just killing the homeless isn't going to solve it.
Yeah, it's like I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's just part of the universe that the movie plot's setting up. So, I mean, I get the plot of it. I just didn't like the characters. I didn't like any of the
Characters in the second one are a lot better.
Yeah, I've seen the second one. I've seen all
I
of
remember
it.
the first one, like the son in that family, whatever, was like
Oh,
real
the very
dumb
first
about
one?
stuff or some shit.
Yeah,
He did dumb shit, but it's
Yeah,
been
I mean,
a while since
there was a few characters that didn't do anything dumb, but that's bad when I have to say there was a few characters that didn't do anything dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
versus there's only one dumb character. No,
No,
instead there's only one or two
most
smart
of the characters, yeah, there's only a couple. Like in the second one, the guy that owns the shop and everything,
Yeah.
he was pretty much the only character that was kind of relatable to me. Although I think he should have killed them when he had the chance.
I found the one guy relatable. I found him very relatable. The one
that started kind of like leading the pack when he got in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I found him relatable because honestly, I have an uncle who went through a similar situation like that, and he talked about it a lot. He talked about if he ever got his hands on the guy, what he would do to him, but he never did because the guy is in prison for life now.
When you get the movies that get a group of people together and they're all in some kind of survival situation, and let's say they're hunkered down, they're surviving something. This happens in a lot of movie scenarios. There's always at least one dumbass that fucks it up for the rest of them. And you always say, well, I mean, this is survival of the fittest. You got to do what you got to do to survive. Sometimes the enemy isn't out there. Sometimes the enemy's right there in the room with you. So I will go to any measure to make sure that for the safety of the people and everything, if you got one guy acting out of line doing something dumb, you're gonna have to put his ass down. I don't care if you got handcuff him, knock him out, tie him to a damn wall or something. You don't have to kill him. Although
I'd
that movie,
tie him, gag him, and throw him in a dumpster.
yeah, I mean, if it's during the purge and that's happening, well, I guess you're gonna be one of the purgees.
Well, that was like that was the one of the good things. Like as far as like the main character, like they didn't end up throwing that one guy that in the first purge. The I think it was like a black homeless guy or something. That showed up the guy's door or whatever. they obviously tied him up and everything, but they didn't, just give him off to those assholes that wanted to murder him.
That's the thing. I wouldn't really go out of my way to intentionally kill them or anything unless they went extreme. But I mean, tie them up. I mean, it's only a 24-hour purge. So.
Yeah, but then obviously those assholes fucking ripped off his door. But I think what pissed me off was like that family's neighbors come in and like they kill all the pieces of shit that are trying to kill the dude, but then they immediately turn around and like are about to kill like the family or whatever. And I think that was like what was like, are you fucking kidding
Suburban neighborhood jealousy bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, well, you made a lot of money from all of the security systems
and
we bought from you.
In our face.
Yeah. It's fucking capitalism. What the fuck are you talking about? You bought a service. We protected your family, so you're gonna fucking kill us?
Yep.
I did like when the wife was like, the stuck up neighbor bitch, whatever. Was,
it's like smacked her in the nose.
And she just fucking hit just right in the nose with a fucking shotgun or whatever it was. Just
the butt of a shotgun.
I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we're going to sit here. We're going to wait until this is over.
I gotta watch this movie again. I gotta
watch the second and third one. Watch those two right there are worth it.
I do agree the second and third one were better.
Yeah.
In the same sense, it was just one of those. I don't know. They're all right. They're all right. I enjoyed watching them. So I guess in a sense that's all that matters.
But overall, I mean, see the thing with horror movies and stuff like that. I will say this. There's a new breed of horror films coming out, and it's one guy who's making them. He did Hereditary, and he did Midsommar. Two films that, instead of like truly horrifying you all the way through, instead the pure like peak of this is that it makes you feel uncomfortable. Everything in them is so discomforting that it actually like makes you so uncomfortable during certain parts that you're just like oh, I need a break.
In a good way, like as far as like
it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Like me and Nick and Lynette, when we went and watched Midsommar, there was one part of it we all just like couldn't help but talk about it after, and we were just like, woo. So that went on a lot longer than I expected. You see, it's because it's stuff to do with the plot that is relative to the story, but it concentrates on it so much that we get the point, but yet it does it to make you uncomfortable. And Hereditary, I would probably say Hereditary is better than Midsommar. I like both of them. Midsommar is the easiest to watch. It's easier to watch than Hereditary. Hereditary just... there's shit that goes on in Hereditary that I'm still, like, I still get chills about just thinking about it because of just how uncomfortable and how it focuses on these things in shots that makes everything so uncomfortable. And it's had, like, actual twists in it that I didn't expect because it didn't give away shit in the trailer. I watched the trailer for this and I'm just like, this might be interesting. I watch it and within 15 minutes I'm just like,
this don't make sense.
Wait, hold on, hold the phone. So, what the hell was that? Wait, so you're saying that I have no idea where the hell this is going now. and that's the beauty of it. That's what I liked about it. Yeah. And Ari Aster, the guy who makes them, he's like, he loves making people uncomfortable with his films. And
what's your opinions on The Cube? Have you ever seen it?
Yes, The Cube. If you don't know your mathematics,
you're screwed. So basically, these guys wake up inside this maze, essentially, called the Cube. And, of course, they don't even know it's a cube. They don't know where they're at. But this maze is this huge Rubik's Cube, right? But the rooms will change over if you solve them. But each room is a different death trap. And pretty much it's a mathematical problem on each one of them. So we're talking, I'm trying to think of like an example. For example, let's say if you put in the wrong answer, whatever, lasers are going to come out of the wall and slice you. Like, so, but, and it's the thing is, it's a group of people, and some of them are really good at math, and some of them are really not. So it's like the guy that's the mathematician, they keep him alive because they need him to do the stuff, but then he's not ballsy. Like, he's not really one to go and do a lot of these traps and stuff like that, because a lot of them's not as simple as typing in the equation. A lot of the times you have to walk room to room and hit the right stuff. Yeah, like, there's all these death traps and stuff, and I was just, that would be awful because I'm terrible at math.
Well, the lasers are the lasers like your basic single laser?
No, like Resident Evil lasers that
like
cut you in half.
lattice. Fucking no way you're gonna get to that. I
Yeah,
love
like,
that.
and there's
slice and dice.
Yeah,
And, like, you just see the
like
dude
some of them are on
fall
time
apart.
limits too, and it's like, oh my god, I'll be sitting here like, I hope you're really good at math.
It's pretty much if Jigsaw was a master, was like a Batman villain.
Yeah, but like this isn't just a normal rinky-dink place. This was actually like a huge facility. It was made like an alien facility. You know, it's actually I haven't watched them in so long that I don't really know like a lot about like who made the cube and stuff. I know it goes into that in some of the movies, but yeah, I just thought it was an interesting, cool thing. I need to go back and watch them again because it's been years.
Yeah,
You definitely got.
They've remade them like 4 times or whatever. I mean, they really don't get too. They're not the best movies ever, but I think it's a very unique style that was underrated, if you ask me.
So we're about an hour in right now. Nick, if you want to
more
go
memes.
ahead with more memes.
Mo memes.
Mo memes.
Mo
No
memes.
problems.
Mo memes, por favor.
Jugger64 donated and said, "Hello boys, I'm back."
Uh-oh, Juggers. What do we got? I'm back in the saddle again.
Mabel, now that we've gotten to know each other, there's something I should tell you.
Oh, Norman, you can tell me anything.
Please be a vampire, please be a vampire, please be a vampire.
All right, just don't freak out, okay? Just keep an open mind. Be cool.
So yeah, we're gnomes.
That was really cool. I like that one.
I'm a good gnome.
I like the surprised gnomes. That's really cool.
Next.
Next one's Dusk's last name just sent with all the copies.
What have you got for us, Dusk? What kind of torture do you have in mind now?
Oh,
Oh no, the farting guy.
wafting.
All right. I had to think of that.
You farted! You stink! Ah!
I'd kick his ass out the car.
Yeah.
Disgusting! Get the fucking window down!
Just wafting him to him.
You've done it again, you idiot! You stink! Fuck! That is revolting, Mitchell! Seriously, that is fucking bloke next door can fucking smell it! Oh my god!
Protein farts.
Mate, you fucking shit yourself, you haven't farted! Fucking hell, man! Fucking slow down! You fucking idiot!
Yeah, I'd pull over and I'd tell him to get out the car. Either hold it in or get the hell out of my car.
I'll be opening up the sunroof.
Fucking get out! I'm not fucking joking, Mitchell! That is fucking off!
Fogged up his glasses.
You have!
God, mother.
Sorry, mate. Fucking hell, Mitchell, you know it's making me crack!
What I would do is I would have a thing of Lysol on standby. Anytime I smelt it, I'd spray it in his face, and I'd just be like, "You gonna do it again? You
Use
gonna
the
do?"
whole can of Axe on him, just spray her.
Just all of a sudden, just ah! And all of a sudden, the guy in the passenger side, he's like, ah!
And shit his pants then.
Yeah, exactly. Now shit yourself.
mean, accidents happen, but damn, you doing that shit intentionally? I'm like, nah, you're gonna have to stick your ass.
Yeah, he's doing that shit intentionally. Quite literally.
Freelancer Dan, I'm gonna need you to DM me where specific
You farted!
Uh-oh.
Stink!
I don't know what's happening right now.
Just hit stop.
On what?
Disgusting! The fucking window down!
Say like there's no people.
Yours, that was like 2 weeks in a row. How ironic will that be if they pay $30,000 for 30k for I'm going to play photographs if only...
Try and play another meme on top of it.
You idiot! Stink! That is revolting, Mitchell!
Okay, there we go.
No, I just started playing.
Nah, it started playing it again at random. It really wanted us to watch that guy fart and shit himself.
I wanted you to hear it.
You farted again!
This was from Union. I said more Warhammer 40k memes.
Oh, God. Go ahead. By the way, we might be hitting you up here soon, Union, to play Space Hulk. I'm probably gonna buy it here soon so we can play it. To hell with you. I don't know you. Leave me a message.
Comrade brethren, I have not slept for 19 days. I know, but I have an announcement for all you bastards. Yeah, we have fought well today in the name of the Emperor and pushed back the fucking Soka, shit-smeared enemies of the Imperium into a shriveled, pathetic corner. Our ancient traditions of squatting and risk 60-ounce moves guides us to victory are plain unmatched by any others. Our sneaky, breaky, hacking scouts have reported a weakness in the enemy's shitty defenses. But we must strike fast before they cannot fuck these. There's bodies for every shitty or slut traitor you kill. You will get a bottle of finest gavars, made from piss of a straying herb and potato pears. So in the name of the Omnissiah and the Emperor, I officially declare this
So I take it this is an accurate representation of the game, right?
Oh, what a nice snow day. I sure do love being evil. Wait, what is that voice?
Yeah, pretty accurate. Only thing that scares me more than like Space Marines with like that big fuck all armor are Russian Space Marines with big fuck all armor and vodka. Like all of a sudden it's like all of a sudden you see a Chicky Bricky, you could die now.
To be up in the vacuum of space in the army. This is nothing compared to Russian winter.
This is Russian winter. This is
vodka.
This barbecue weather. Oh, that really slaps me on the knee.
Alright, so Ariel donated $5 and sent to me, so I'm gonna play something I'm super stoked about right now.
Woo! Thank you, Ariel. Woo woo!
The powerful stand user has arrived in Naples.
Uh-oh.
His father and I go way back. His name was Dio Brando. I had to know whether Giorno Giovanna was Dio's son. Hand over your wallet. And if he was, don't say I didn't try to warn you. How much he took after his father. Despite his calm demeanor,
Take him down before he gets away!
he has a savage son, which makes him dangerous. I strongly suggest you abandon following him.
Salvation awaits! Prepare, as before you lie too fast!
Do you think he's a true enemy?
Intercept his golden wing!
Could he be an ally?
I still don't know why I'm raising these powers, but I think it would be a waste not to use them.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Golden Wind, premieres next Saturday at 2:30.
Now say goodbye to your senses.
Only Toonami.
Hell yeah.
It seems a lot more serious than JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
They're all pretty serious.
It's like serious with just like a lot of weird shit.
Loony serious.
Loony
And
serious.
then Freelancer Dan didn't get a meme with yours for some reason. So
Aw.
I need you to DM it to me.
I'm gonna go. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna slide into those DMs, and I'm gonna slide right back out.
Slide to the left. Slide to the right. One hop this time. One hop this time.
Everybody, clap your hands.
God, I remember that fucking every high school dance. Fucking
Take it back now, y'all. And then of course
that was legally required in every fucking
there was that
dance
You
or
want to see what
little
else they're
thing.
premiering like the same basic week?
Sure, go ahead. But on top of that, they had the electric slide, YMCA, and now the freaking Cupid Shuffle. Now, do your thing, do your thing.
Oh God, yeah.
Now, do your thing.
I remember
when seeing stuff like this.
Oh my God,
stuff
dude.
that I watched and seeing it in both languages.
I don't know how it was when you were in high school, but fucking for a couple years, Soulja Boy fucking made everybody lose their goddamn mind.
I was out of high school. I was in college.
Yeah, I was in high school for when right in Soulja Boy.
Soulja
days.
Boy.
Oh my God.
I was
When
right
the-
around like
when-
senior.
Bum 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 when that
Soulja
fucking
Boy.
thing hit. Oh my God! Everybody had to fucking run around screaming
yes!
their heads off.
Very nice.
Occurrences of tiger-level threats and above are increasing in frequency. Time to hunt.
We already reacted to this. The finale on YouTube comes out tomorrow. Actually.
Hello, my name is Saitama. What's shaking?
What's shaking, my dude?
Let me, bro.
Let me, bro. Uh-oh.
This is One Punch Man. One Punch Man.
One Punch
Man season 2, right?
Yep.
Wasn't expecting that. The world is chock full.
I've only seen season 1.
Pretty awful people.
Garo.
Standing up to them is what heroes do. Even if that means doing it alone.
Go Saitama.
Season 2 of One Punch Man.
His personality seems different. He's more like talking. Most of the time he's like, yep.
Well,
Don't care. And
he's
then
opened up a little bit more.
Yeah, I can see that.
Adult Swim.
He has opened up a little
I
bit
thought
more.
it was part of the comedy.
It's where,
just how he just.
Well, no, it's him
didn't
opening
care.
up more as a human being again, and actually connecting with people. Like he actually opens up a pretty cool connection with King because they're both gamers, and King is like one of the best gamers ever. And he just, I say that, but all he does is just spam the same move in video games. Like that one friend we know.
Trained so hard, I lost all of my hair.
Dr. Dell was like, you from fucking Soulja
God,
Boy.
you! Everybody did that shit.
Oh my God, dude.
I mean, I just go ahead and said I don't listen to rap at all. So when that came out, I was just like, oh no. But
It was just,
I
it was
don't
so
think
bad,
it's as
dude.
bad as that lifestyle stuff.
Maybe it was different at your high school, but because like,
I like a little dig.
admittedly, my high school was an inner city school, so you can talk about the as far as like,
No.
the different.
It was at Tennessee High as well.
Bro, man, to answer your question, we will be having the show our normal day next Wednesday on the 30th. However,
special case.
However, the 31st, he's asking us what if we're doing this. I'm going to be doing this on Halloween next week. Next week on Halloween, I'm actually going to be playing a certain game involving a certain plumber who has a panache for green. And is not a loser, but instead to me is the true hero.
Should we dress up?
Luigi's Mansion.
For
yeah,
next Wednesday for
if you want to.
How,
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, I'll wear my costume that I wore at Conapalooza last year.
I was wearing my body armor or something.
Yeah, I'll come in and I'll just be like, "What's up, homies?" Yeah, I'll come in. I'll dress up as Thanos next time you see me.
I've already got the Halloween colors going on this. So
Oh yeah,
I'll just hang out with
that's perfect Halloween armor right there. Just be like, I'm the Halloween warrior.
I didn't really design it to sit in, but
I am the Halloween warrior. Trick or treat, motherfuckers.
I received the meme I've been waiting on from Freelancer Dan.
Okay.
It says this is a certified hood classic.
Oh no.
Hood classic. Oh no.
I am worried, but I am also hotly anticipating what the hell's.
Girl, are you? the hipster, the hardcore girl, the pastel goth, the swag Asian, the kawaii girl.
What the fuck?
Well, did they put the microphone inside the microwave?
I think so.
What is a pastel goth?
You need to sit more Warhammer videos.
Oh, Jesus. Go for it. Go for it. I thought they were going to play like Gangster's Paradise or some shit like that.
That's what I thought.
As I walk to the field where I harvest my grains. Totally accurate.
Oh my god.
No shit. Where's the heresy? Brothers.
I like it.
So I take it.
Yeah, I'm freaking.
Holy shit!
So I take it the Terrans and Warhammer 40k are all about heresy,
Most of them.
or like
Most of them.
purging
But
heresy.
if you're a follower of the Emperor, which that's most of humanity, yeah, you're actually all about that heresy and xenophobia. That's just how it is. I mean, the Emperor is effectively all about the survival of humanity, and in doing so has mutated humanity into these like gigantic monsters with 2 hearts, 3 lungs, and enough meat on their bodies to take a 50 cal shell to the head, turn around, look at it, and say, "What's for dinner?"
I watched some I forget what the YouTube channel is, but basically they're all about like 40k stuff. But like it was explaining like a pilgrimage to like the holy temple on Earth or something, whatever. Like,
Yes.
that people from like outside of the solar system have to go to,
Mhm.
and apparently it's
a lot like a trip
rigorous.
to Mecca.
It's so rigorous that you basically, if you make it to the end, because like you'll probably die on the way, but if you make it to the end, you're gonna die anyways, pretty much.
Yes.
Like that is like the end of your life by making it there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's it's a lot like a pilgrimage to Mecca, except not as
You
as
die.
hellish. not as hellish.
Yeah.
Because pilgrimage to Mecca, you pretty much have to give up all like material possessions because present yourself as bare as you can before the grace of Allah. That's typically what that is. I mean, I had a friend. Unfortunate name, especially beforehand. I knew this kid from back in 3rd grade, so I would say about 1995, 96, until about 2003, 2004 in my life. And during that time, he went from being like one of the coolest kids in school to being like one of the most like avoided, simply because of his name. His name was Osama Quinabi.
Oh yeah,
He was from Saudi Arabia. His dad was a doctor. Mustafa Quinabi, nice man, by the way, very very nice man. And his brother's we all just called him Sam. He didn't care. He wasn't like a rigorous Muslim, but he did pray. He did pray every day, and at the proper times and everything. And his dad was also a very very nice man. His brother was cool too. His brother actually was on the football team. He was a wide receiver and their kicker because he was originally a soccer player, but when they came here from the state or to our area, he came into football and actually did really good. But I remember when 9/11 happened, his family pretty much started getting all sorts of
a lot of threats. Yeah.
From a bunch of dumbass rednecks who really didn't know any better. In truth, a lot of the community unified around them and said, "Hey, we still love you guys. I mean, you know, we don't care what all these other people say. All it takes is a group of people to really fuck everything up for everybody. And it actually got so bad that Sam actually, I still called him Sam. Everyone else just, you know, reverted to calling him Osama. Hey, Osama, how you doing, huh? How you doing, Osama?
Yeah,
and I'm just like, guys, this is Sam. We've known him for like ever since 3rd or 4th grade. Like, he's one of our...
now he's a terrorizer.
Yeah, now he's a terrorist and all that, in which I always defended him. I always came to his defense, and that's actually what made me lose a lot of my friends from 7th to 8th grade was just everyone or actually 8th to 9th grade is because I always defended Sam, and I got beat up for it. I got punished for it. I got blamed for a lot of shit. They said that me and Sam were planning on blowing up the locker room one time at the high school, and you know, they called in the police and they questioned us, and I'm just like, Jesus, man, are you really believing this stuff? Yeah, because paranoia, dude. Paranoia. All people did was watch the news, put all this fear in their head, and it just turned people into calm, critical, understanding individuals into fear-mongering sheep. That's it. That's all it literally turned them into.
That's you know, honestly, in a rational world, you would think that, hey, people could understand that, you know, there are people out there that have the same name but have absolutely, you know,
exactly,
have no relation. But because people are so fucking stupid, it might as well, it would be easier on you to just change your name. And that's how fucking stupid it is, how dumb some people can be.
I remember Sam and his family moved away. I forget where they moved to. I think at one point they moved to Texas. And, Sam actually became an athletics doctor. His dad was an actual medical doctor. Sam liked sports, and he liked helping people with sports and everything. And to my knowledge, he's doing very well for himself. But still, I haven't talked to him in
I don't think
like 15 years.
That's you know, as far as the issues that kind of the like the SJW / you know, what is it called? Fucking outrage culture type thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, they get a lot of, you know, there's a lot of issues that come with that. Ooh. But I do think there is one benefit is that today that shit won't fly as well.
No,
you can't just go and call anybody that's named Osama. You can't call them a terrorist.
It's because we're tempered now.
No.
We're tempered now to the kind of nonsense that the news pushed out there, that fear and paranoia pushed out there. And now there's just fringe internet groups that are nowhere near as big because the internet has spread so much information now that the fringe groups are a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, there's still pockets of ignorance out there, and there always will be, because some people just don't want to change, and they pass on that stupidity to the next generation, because guess what? They still have the ability to breed. I mean, that's just a common thing with the human species, is that we have the ability to breed and pass down our genetics. However, so do all the dumb people too.
Yeah. So I mean, I know that, like, you know, SJWs and the whole outrage culture thing does get a lot of flack and everything for being too, you know, pansy-ish or whatever, but I do think there are some benefits as far as making people a little bit more, at least they get a little bit more reasonable, like they think.
Awareness and advocacy are okay. It's just how you go about it that makes the issue. You know, if you got a good claim to where you feel like something needs to be changed in your community, I wholeheartedly support that, because that's the only way any you know, governmental agencies are going to be able to move forward. They have to realize and see what the problems are in order to fix them and stuff. But you have to be able to come up with solutions that are not extravagantly extreme. You know what I'm saying? I don't like I don't like pretentiousness a lot, and that stuff just kind of kills me whenever they're putting their views on everybody like it's just has to be this way in order for stuff to happen. You know, regardless if you're talking about, you know, human rights, or if you're talking about, you know, global, like Earth rights, as far as like going green. There's lots of stuff that out in the world that are problems, but you just have to recognize them and realize how to build them. bitching at other people about it is not going to do any good.
No, holding people responsible for their misfortunes. It's just like I remember 10 years before Tesla was even a thing, everyone was talking about electric cars like they were going to be the new thing. And they had electric cars way back when. Chevy actually made like 50 prototypes of electric cars and gave them out to like celebrities and stuff like that on lease agreements. Didn't sell them; they leased them to them, and meaning that the car company could take them back at any given time.
And they did.
And they did, yeah. And they destroyed them. And they thought, okay, so yeah, this is like 2001, 2002.
Oh yeah, that's
were happening.
Big oil times.
Oh yeah, and then all of a sudden, here comes.
It happened in the late '80s too.
Well, yeah, and then you think about this: the electric car was a thought that could actually happen, but then there was a movie that came out, Who Killed the Electric Car? And I remember watching that and getting pissed off, thinking, this is progress. Isn't this what America's supposed to do? When progress happens, aren't we supposed to embrace it and move forward together as a society with it?
Instead, they try to suppress it.
And they did. And then here comes Tesla, and everyone's just like, Tesla coming in out of nowhere. They didn't come out of nowhere. The electric car's been around since the electric car idea has been around since, like you said, the 80s, and it was properly prototyped in the 2000s.
When they say Tesla came out of nowhere, it's because a new company came out of
I get that.
Wasn't under the influence of big oil.
I get that, and that's one reason why I am always in full support.
It's not even cars too. I mean, it's just like, as far as like power storage for like, the people that are against solar farm stuff.
I actually
now
talked
that
to my
Tesla
dad.
can build batteries.
I actually am talking to my dad, and my dad here in the next 4 or 5 years is actually going to move more off the grid. He's going to move out of this big house that he's been living in for the last 12, 13 years with my stepmom and their 2 daughters. And now it's just my dad and my stepmom, and the house is too big for them now.
No.
So they're going to be moving out, and Dad's actually wanting to build the house himself, and he wants to have pretty much like go as full off the grid as he can. He wants to drill a well, get a full purification system in there, and he wants to do. And I talked him into doing it. He wants to do the Tesla battery walls and the Tesla, and if they have them available at the time, the shingles that are actually solar panels, or at least the solar arrays on the ceiling.
That's what I like, is that like a lot of I don't know if it's regulations or if it's just the building contractors themselves, but they're looking at building a lot of houses where they're just integrated with the solar panels and stuff. And
which it's actually shown that that people who use the batteries actually go, when they put them on their houses, that the power company actually gives them a credit because the power company is actually pulling power from your house to use in the grid. Now imagine if everybody had that. Imagine if everybody had that. Power companies, they would pretty much have a surplus of energy to use for other things. For instance, like if we have the Rhythm and Roots Festival, we have that every year. That happens every year in Bristol. Imagine, if you will, all the power that they had surplus, all the stuff that they use surplus energy for, they use it for stuff like that. And that way, the power bill doesn't reflect badly on anybody.
Imagine if every power company in the world installed that.
Well,
on their
here in the States, we're the only one that has. Well, here in the States, we're the only one that has like a mainstream one that actually can afford to come out and install it at your house, because that's what Tesla does. Whenever you put the
they're not as expensive as a lot of people think.
No,
we actually I had seriously looked at getting solar panels for the studio. Like,
it would work here
because
y'all have a lot of real
this building has like 37,000 square feet, and the entire roof is flat.
Yes,
so you could easily build upon it. The only thing that was kind of holding us back right there was just our credit score.
Investment.
Being a starting business, we don't have a high enough credit score to get it. But hopefully down the line, because the power company here in town definitely.
They'd be like, "What's that?"
They fuck us financially.
It's because they can, dude. I mean, this is an outlier. This is an outlier community.
I think it's funny that the rates go up regardless if you use extra power in the winter or not. Like there was a guy that paid power bill.
Yeah, it's like all on a weighted curve.
But he left for like a year, and he was still paying the power bill to keep it on over, but it wasn't running anything. He had the breaker cut off, and still went up.
What's up?
What's up?
We got like 4 minutes until it's an hour and a half. We've got a new wave of memes.
Oh shit! Okay, go ahead.
So this is from B25 Roman said, thanks for letting me know about the next date for the show. I know how you guys like parodies. Here's one you'll like. Try to guess the reference in this video.
Predator. This is Predator. I know this. Contact! Motherfucker! Yep. This is from Predator. I remember this. Just Max standing there mowing the trees down with the freaking machine, with the minigun, and he's just yelling the whole time. He's yelling, "Motherfucker!"
Yes, it is a cool scene. I love Predator.
It's such nonsense. I would love to see somebody actually try and fucking fire a minigun.
Woo! Big beasts. Oh, he's loving this. Total War, baby.
Come on, do it.
Do it.
What,
do
what
it
game
now.
is that from?
Come on, kill me.
Warhammer, or Total War Warhammer 2.
Okay, that looked pretty cool.
That was like the prehistoric type one.
Actually,
right?
That's the original Warhammer.
Vermintide actually, I think they just recently released Vermintide 2, which is another universe in the Warhammer Warhammer
I'll be doing World of
series,
Warcraft references.
Which the thing with Vermintide, it actually is more like a Left 4 Dead game because it's actually really cool how
Survive
it works.
waves.
Yes.
We're down with rat people.
Yes.
Hell, I'm down. Sounds pretty fun. What's next?
Next.
Let's see.
Oh.
Space Marine 101 donated $10.
Woo!
Did someone mention our great emperor?
Uh-oh. I didn't. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Might have been me.
Jesus, Rome, what have you done?
Abandon reason, no only war! There's no shelter for those who oppose the Imperium of Man. Xenos. Die! We are the bringers of death!
Yes!
Of God!
Oh, it just blew into pieces.
Die!
The Blood Marines, hell yeah.
Small Russian
Yes, it is.
Yum.
Sky Green Skin! Volta's brothers! Scorch them in flame! Burn in holy fire! Feel the Emperor's wrath!
So the Terrans are really into the Soul Emperor thing now.
Yes. Like I said, the majority of them, yes. There's certain split.
Warhammer 40K is fascinating.
Thank you, Badger. Hands down, probably my favorite Canadian, outside of Vanoss and Smitty, and a few others.
This is not a tsunami for a while.
There have always been many.
Ooh, Demon Slayer. This is one that people asked us to watch.
That's why it's not.
This is probably the one we're going to watch after we finish Attack on Titan. I don't know.
Nezuko, are you okay? What happened?
The Demon Slayers protect us by killing.
I need to get back into anime. I've been into a roll.
Dude, some of these right here are ridiculous. This one right here is crazy.
Don't let it take control!
What the fuck?
Well, it's. She knows him.
Which means I have to decapitate your sister here.
It's her sister.
And I'll fight
it, no matter what it takes. I'll hunt down the one who slaughtered my family. I promise I'll make everything right.
Demon Slayer.
Yeah, he's trying to find a cure for his sister, and he's always carrying his sister around, and she's got the little bamboo shoot in her mouth to keep her fangs from getting anybody.
Huh.
And
clever.
Well, and people actually asked us to watch that. You and me, Nick, we might watch that as a series after we're done with Attack on Titan, because that one's the next one that we're going to be done with.
All right.
Where are you guys at on Attack on Titan?
We are just at the start of the second half of season 3.
Okay.
What's next?
Next.
Whoa donated. Said, I remember you mentioned about a rock/metal version of this song, so here's it.
Yeah. I think I know what this is going to be. Yes! The bass tabs for this because I want to play bass. I want to play the bass on this because the bass line's so funky, especially when it gets into the part everyone knows.
Metallica says someone posted COD World at War zombies in there.
Love that bass line, dude. Damn.
Yeah. Alright, this next one's from James Segrist with $3 donation.
My phone died. Shit.
Hopefully.
Phone always
It's
dies.
only 16 seconds long, so hopefully this will be okay to show.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah!
No. Made me want to.
Union brought up a good point.
Don't poop all over nice things. Fucked up.
Union brought up a good point with like the when we talk about the Osama thing. He said that he knows some girls that are called ISIS.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, ISIS
fucked up.
is like the fertility goddess.
Yeah, it's Egyptian fertility goddess,
and
yeah.
The thing is like. ISIS didn't even that's not even on ISIS.
No.
It's the media that created the whole ISIS thing.
Yeah, it's actually ISIL, ISIL.
Yeah. They're working in Arabic. I don't even know what their lettering is.
Well,
but
their lettering is our numeric system is Hindu Arabic, and our.
Go ahead and play the next one.
Go ahead, man.
But
you got two.
It's just the media has simplified it to say it easier ISIS instead of Islamic.
Islamic State of
the Caliphate,
Iran and Syria.
Alright, so Jerry donated $5 and says a 99% totally legit scene from Joker.
Oh yes, I like Joker. I like Joker a lot. It's probably my favorite.
What? Funny now?
I had an interesting theory on that, which I want to.
Clown? I suppose you think I shouldn't have a gun either.
That's honestly.
I heard it.
John's wrong.
No, go ahead. What were you?
Well, I watched a video a couple days ago that brought up an interesting thought. It was basically positing the question of, is the media's whole backlash thing of like, oh, this is terrible and everything, you shouldn't watch the thing. Is it that, especially like the big media guys like CNN and stuff, they are aware that most people don't like them, so they're using that as kind of a front to basically trick us into going to see it, to make the company that makes it more money.
You see, I could see that. I could, if it weren't the fact that CNN always goes with the mobs. CNN always sides with the mobs on the certain sides of things. It's just like they actually. I looked at Project Veritas. Have you ever heard of them?
I've heard of them.
So Project Veritas actually did an undercover where they actually had a CNN investigative reporter from an affiliate who was getting interviewed at the CNN main office, and literally the only words that he heard the entire time was it was just like, it's just like, we need to talk Trump impeachment. It's like, but there's nothing to talk about. We've talked about it for the last 2 years. There's nothing coming. And it's like, I don't care. You talk about it, you talk about it, you talk about it, you talk about it. And pretty much anytime someone tried to suppose, hey, shouldn't we do an investigation on this or that or something, actual investigative journalism instead of hearsay and bullshit. Look, there's plenty of stuff to go after Trump on. Look at his Twitter feed. That's it. All you got to do is look at his Twitter feed and you'll have plenty of ammunition to go after him all the time. You don't need to make shit up. I mean, if you want to appear to be legitimate, you need to go from legitimacy. You can't just hope and pray that this Hail Mary works out, because you're just going to alienate all your fans. I don't like any news media outlet. I mean,
does CNN have fans?
You'd be surprised. Dude, I've said it in one of my past videos. Fuck Fox News, fuck CNN, fuck CBS, fuck NBC, fuck the Young Turks, fuck all of them. They have no bearing on my life, and I don't want them to have any bearing on my life, because it's not news.
Yeah,
it's not news.
I don't like
it's viewpoints. And it's propaganda, pretty much. It's see our point of view on things or be our enemy.
I hear about their topics way before they even come out anyway. And when they do come out, it's
pretty much regurgitation of the exact same points that someone else made.
But they don't. They act like they don't get it. I swear they pretend like they don't even understand what's going on.
No,
it's just like they're being told exactly what to say.
Exactly.
Like, mindless robots giving you news.
I don't
who wants to watch that?
No, I don't. No. I mean, honestly, there's plenty of news sources out there I get my stuff from. I don't have to hear some talking head read it off into my ear like I'm a fucking child. Instead,
the worst thing is
I can read
they sit there
I can actually read it.
That's part of the reason. That's part of the reason why
How much we got left, Nick?
We still have one left.
Okay.
Or two now.
Okay, well, actually...
Three.
Shit.
All right.
That's
part of the reason why
I'm down with...
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give a cut off myself, because I got to eat soon.
Yeah, Nick's got to eat.
Right.
I haven't fed him today.
Here, then we got to stop.
I haven't fed him today.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right, but we'll stop being political.
Yeah, enough politics. Let's just go on and we'll finish off these memes and then we'll call it a night.
All right, Steve-O donated and said, please pass the mustard.
Let's get politic.
Pass the mustard.
I'd rather
eat a dick.
Oh, there it is! There it is! Hey, didn't we talk about this the other night with Chad?
Mustard. What the fuck is this?
Uncle Grandpa. It's a show on Cartoon Network. It's about this guy called Uncle Grandpa, and in one part of it, he dresses up like G.G. Allen, arguably the most hated hardcore punk artist of all time. The man literally stripped down butt naked, took a shit in the middle of the stage, rolled around in it like a fucking pig, picks it up, throws it at his audience, and got in fights with literally every single person he could, went out in the street, rolled around naked while covered in shit, went up to his hotel room, and then overdosed on heroin. What a life!
I'm assuming he was already on, like, fucking cocaine or some shit.
I don't know, and I don't care. The less people talk about it, the less people talk about G.G. Allen, the better. But they included a G.G. Allen sort of cameo in this show, and we talked about it, and it's just like, wow, so many people are going to see this and not know what the hell is going on, and then some random reaction channel in the middle of bumfuck Egypt is going to say, oh my gosh, that's G.G. Allen. Yeah.
Who? Let me Wikipedia.
No! We always tell people, when it comes to G.G. Allen, don't look him up. No one needs to remember that piece of shit.
I'm good.
This is the same guy that said if a girl gets sexually assaulted at his show, she deserves it.
Yep.
Says you're the kind of person that he is, or was.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Good riddance, G.G. Allen. May you rot in the fucking coffin that you're in, and your family never remembers you.
Anyways, James Seacrest donated $3. Sorry about some comedy gold.
Comedy gold. What you got?
Everyone loves a good comeback story.
I've seen this.
Biscuit, the Mighty Ducks,
Robert Downey Jr. Who
Rocky.
else? Yes.
Kim Kardashian.
Well,
in the video, she gets cum on her back, I think.
God,
Jerry's dead. Only gonna make the rap party.
Only gonna make the rap party.
Chris Pratt, that whole season was trying to get Nick Offerman, aka Ron Swanson, to laugh the entire season, and he did it with that right there and was so proud of himself. The shit-eating grin on his face. Even Aubrey Plaza knew what the punchline was, and she tapped him on the shoulder to try and shut him up before he said it. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay, so Broman donated $2.50. Says, since you like the last one, might as well show you this. I was planning on showing it on the Halloween stream, but I think it will be fun. I hope we can show the full vid, or I will ... I can't read any further because Streamlabs fuck up their shit. Okay,
I will. What will you do? What will you do?
Show the rest. Yeah, I have to do it next week, though.
I must know.
I must know.
You can play with your phone if you want.
Huh?
You can play with your phone if you want.
Crap.
Actually, I can't because he was plugged his up.
You wouldn't believe us. The tales we could tell. Though, truth be told.
What is this?
Total War.
It started very poorly. I was one, but now we are many.
Campbell flies over his head. He's like, ha ha!
To sail the coast. Hunt down those lizard trinkets. And we will find them.
Boom! Headshot!
Time. We will put ourselves back together.
Uh-oh.
Fortune
favors the bold. That's what I think he's going to say. It's either fortune favors the brave, fortune favors the bold, fortune favors the...
Brilliant.
I guess. I don't know. All right. Next.
We're done.
Oh, we're done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, for this sudden ending.
Good Lord. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was an interesting episode. I mean, a lot of memes, and all the money that we raise is, the end game is I'm going to shave my head yet again, and also all the money is going to be going into the parts that we are getting for Jacob to upgrade his machine. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm editing soon.
Yeah. So we actually might film the thing of you.
Oh Lord, you get to see my old dinosaur case.
He has an old Alienware case.
You guys are both going to be here for tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow, and I'm driving, so I'll bring him. I mean, I don't know how useful I'll be. I mean, I'm only bringing the VR headset.
Okay.
So again, everybody, thank you all so much for all that, and also thank you for tuning in. I mean, I know Tuesday is not our normal day, but next week we will be back to our normal day of Wednesday. And hey, I hope that you all enjoyed this. And
Hey, it's Wednesday somewhere in the world.
yeah, sometime. Yeah,
Sorry.
it's all right. So until next time, everybody. I mean, signing off. I'm Nate.
I'm Jacob.
I am Roan.
Starving.
That's Nick, and we will see you all in the next one, everybody. Peace out.
Bye.